Welcome back. BJP's major Jat outreach ahead of assembly elections in UP scheduled for next year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to land in Aligarh in just about a short while from now. He's going to be laying the foundation stone of a university named after a Jat king, Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh. So 11:45 is the scheduled timing. So close to about less than 15 minutes from now. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has already landed in the city, taking stock of the preparations for Chief Minister's visit. Once built, the university will provide affiliations to 395 colleges in Aligarh Division, and the university campus will be spread over 92 acres of land. Aishwarya Palwal joining us live for the very latest. Aishwarya, walk our viewers through all that is going on in the agenda of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he lands in Aligarh. In just about a few moments from now, he's going to be landing and arriving at the venue.
Well, we will see the Prime Minister coming here at the venue, because of which, the crowd is swelling. People are chanting not just Prime Minister Narendra Modi's name, but also chanting Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's name. Now, an outreach program, many are seeing this as an outreach program towards the Jat community. Let me tell you something about Maharaja Mahendra Pratap Singh. He was an alumni of the Aligarh Muslim University. He, in fact, had also donated land for AMU, and now we are seeing that an entire university spread across 92 acres will be established. Now, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, had in 2018, in fact, the cabinet had passed land and had given all the permissions for this university. It will now be coming up. From what we are expecting in the next 1 year, the university will be up and running. And what the Chief Minister has been saying, that this educational institute will bring prosperity not just for Aligarh but also for adjoining areas. And the kind of provisions which you see here, it's chock-a-block, it's jam-packed. People are still coming in, all of them wanting to hear what Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath have to say. And this also, in a way, is the beginning of the campaign which we will see for the very hard upcoming elections of Uttar Pradesh, very prestigious elections in just the next couple of months. Chaiti.
Absolutely. Also give us a little bit of perspective to our viewers, Aishwarya, on this entire move by the Bharatiya Janata Party with the Prime Minister, perhaps being seen by many in the political spectrum as an attempt to woo a section of Jat voters who comprise a rather significant chunk of western Uttar Pradesh. This is said to be miffed with the Bharatiya Janata Party over the farm laws.
Well, definitely we are seeing now two things have happened. One thing is that, if you talk about the kind of poll that Jats have in western Uttar Pradesh, they comprise roughly of 17% of the population. So we are seeing that they are a huge number, something which the BJP cannot oversee. And this is a community which has been standing firmly with the party. So definitely they understand that they cannot have a very strained relationship with them. And we are seeing, on the other hand, how the farmer agitation is also now gaining momentum. Time and again, we are seeing in some part of the state or the other farmers have been talking about the fact that they have been sitting in Delhi at the borders for almost 10 months, but no one is listening to them. So the program today, which you see, is an outreach by BJP to pacify the Jat community, because the vote is such that they cannot oversee them. And the very fact, Chaiti, that Prime Minister has come is giving people an idea of how important the community is. And the elections are not that far away from what we are understanding from the Election Commission. We understand the elections could be held in Jan and or in Feb. So the party does not have those many months now in just the next couple.
How is the BJP's performance, Aishwarya, in the 2017 assembly elections? I believe they ended up doing really well in the 2017 assembly elections as far as western UP is concerned.
Well, definitely, we did see that the party won with a majority, and that is what they are looking to make sure that they can do that, which is why Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is someone who has been at the forefront. The party has also said that the elections will be fought on the name of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. So definitely a very crucial state, Uttar Pradesh. See, and the kind of crowd which you see will tell you how important Uttar Pradesh as a state is It's
Sure, I'm going to let you go. I believe you need to leave and I'm going to let you go. But Abhishek Mishra is also with us. Abhishek, walk our viewers through the scores of people who have gathered right there to listen to the address of the Prime Minister today. This is the same section of Western UP which has been miffed by the BJP on the back of the farm protests. But now this particular outreach looks like will make the much needed difference for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Western UP region.
Well, absolutely, Chaityan. It's going to be a very important event today where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is there and he's going to inaugurate and lay foundation stone for the state university, which was much demanded because there has been a lot of concerns of the students and the other unions who have been speaking about not being able to affiliation of the colleges, and that too only was available from Agra and Mathura. But Aligarh, since is a hub of Aligarh Muslim University, at the same time, the name of this institute, this university, is something which has come up a more significance because Raja Mahendra Pratap, whose name has been given for this university, has given his land for the AMU on a lease and back then in 1929. So, and he was a Jat leader. So the kind of relation, this particular event has beyond than the development, because you know that the fact that, in Western Uttar Pradesh, BJP is already facing a lot of troubles as far as acceptance, the farmers' protest, and at the same time, the kind of discontent of the Yogi ministers has to face at the ground, be it from the Jat leaders or from a particular community, and, RLD being very vocal about it. So this is all an important day in terms of giving to the Western Belt, and specifically in Aligarh, at the same time also trying to, maintain and to balance the caste arithmetic, because Jat is going to be very important for the BJP, who have really supported them in the 2014, 2017 assembly elections and 2019 Lok Sabha elections. But this time, because of the farmer protests and all those, issues emerging in Western Belt, this event is going to give a strong message out there that the BJP and PM Narendra Modi is committed for the development, and at the same time is also going to inaugurate the defense corridor, which is a very important project of the UP government. So, in a way, along with the development, the core
Hold on right there. Abhishek Paulami Saha, who tracks the Bharatiya Janata Party, is now joining us for a perspective on this particular incident that is taking place, the ceremony that is taking place. Paulami, how significant is Western UP and the Jat community as a vote bank ahead of the UP elections for the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Well, it's extremely significant. That is the belt where the BJP is facing maximum resistance from, especially the farming community, which has been unhappy with the central government not, paying any sort of heed or attention to their concerns since they have been protesting over the 3 farm laws. So the BJP realizes...
About the interruption, but Prime Minister Modi's live visuals on your screens right now. He has reached Aligarh at the moment. We've cut live to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There you go. He's reached Aligarh for the event at the university. You can see him being flanked by UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. And there are many others in the mask who you can't recognize because of the mask, but there is Yogi Adityanath on his left, and that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi right there in Aligarh at the moment. He's reached Aligarh. This is a mega Jat outreach for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Paulami was just mentioning to us the significance of this. We're going to go back to Paulami, so I request her to stay on with us, but take a look at the live visuals that we've cut to at the moment. This is BJP's major Jat outreach ahead of assembly polls in Uttar Pradesh scheduled for next year. Prime Minister Modi has landed in Aligarh. He's going to be laying the foundation stone of university named after Jat King, Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh. Yogi Adityanath is right next to him right there. He went ahead of the Prime Minister to take stock of the preparations ahead of the Prime Minister's visit. The university, viewers, is going to be providing affiliations to 395 colleges in Aligarh Division, and the university campus is going to be spread over 92 acres of land. That is ginormous. The move is being seen by many as an attempt to woo a section of Jat voters who comprise a significant chunk of Western Uttar Pradesh, and Paulami will be able to elaborate to us on the significance further. Paulami, I'm going to let you continue. I'm sorry about the interruption right there. We cut live to Prime Minister Modi's visuals. You were explaining to us the significance of Western UP and the Jat vote bank for the BJP ahead of the UP polls.
That's right. That's extremely significant because as far as the Jat population is concerned, from Western UP, they comprise about 17% of the population. They overwhelmingly supported the Bharatiya Janata Party in previous elections, be it the state election of 2017 or previously in 2014 when the Bharatiya Janata Party came to power in centre, and then subsequently again in 2019. So if you look back at the past elections in the recent years under Narendra Modi, the Jat community has overwhelmingly supported the Bharatiya Janata Party. But this time round, going into the 2022 elections, the BJP is feeling the heat of the community, which has been met with the central government for not heeding to its concerns vis-a-vis the 3 farm laws, or taking back those laws, as has been the demand of the agitating farmers. And clearly they have been upping the ante. Recently we saw the Mahapanchayat that they had in Muzaffarnagar, again in Western Uttar Pradesh. Again, the speeches that were made from the podium asked for the people to resist the Bharatiya Janata Party. It was political in nature. While, of course, they were voicing their concerns, they also said that it is the BJP which is at the helm of affairs, and it is the BJP which has not heard their concerns, and hence the community needs to resist them in the upcoming elections. And that is a blow that the BJP cannot afford to take in 2022 as it goes into elections in the first half of the year, around the month of February. So clearly that is something that the BJP is now trying to, in a way, counter with, of course, the foundation stone for this university being laid, which is, of course, dedicated to and in honor of a Jat king, Maharaja Rana Pratap Singh. And, of course, the fact that, a defense corridor is also being set up. There are 2 programs, of course. The Aligarh node of this defense corridor is being set up as well. Again, a huge project which they hope will make India self-reliant as far as defense manufacturing is concerned, will bring in a lot of money as well. So again, the BJP is saying, look, we are appreciative of the Jat community's contribution to society, and of course we're bringing in business, we're bringing in development, we're bringing in employment work into Uttar Pradesh as well, and hence the BJP is the party of choice that it should be in 2022. This is the appeal that the Bharatiya Janata Party is making. This, of course, is one of the many visits that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be making to Uttar Pradesh in the run-up to the 2022 elections, Jyoti.
Absolutely, Paulami. If you could also tell us a little about how the ongoing farmers' protests perhaps may have complicated the political equation in this particular region, and whether the BJP will be able to mend fences with their vote bank right there.
The farming community is concerned, they have been unrelenting in their demand. We know that the farming community has been protesting at the border of Delhi for a very, very long time right now, since those 3 farming laws were passed in Parliament. There have been negotiations, there have been talks between the government and leaders of the farming community. We've seen those negotiations that have happened, but the fact is that they have led to no sort of resolution as far as their protests are concerned. They've protested during the Parliament session at Jantar Mantar. They've called for this mega Mahapanchayat in Muzaffarnagar in Punjab as well. They've been protesting. We've seen recently that they tried to, of course, in Haryana, in Karnal, they tried to Gherao, and they successfully did so. The mini secretariat over there as well. So the farming community has been upping its ante now, because they do realize that these upcoming elections are extremely crucial for the Bharatiya Janata Party. So they have decided to now voice their agitation, their resistance via the vote that they carry. And that is something that the BJP is extremely concerned about, because they do realize that this is a significant chunk of the population. It is a very strong vote bank. They're trying to, of course, woo them now with these gestures which are being made. But as far as Western UP is concerned, the Bharatiya Janata Party does face an uphill task in bringing back that population, which I said, which is about 17% of the population of Western Uttar Pradesh, a significant part of the state which goes to polls, the 403 seats which will go to polls in February 2022. A very significant part, and the Bharatiya Janata Party obviously realizes that this is not a vote bank that it can afford to lose, and hence because it will then reflect on the party's performance later as well. Though they believe that they are on a strong footing going into these elections. They do believe that the opposition is completely fractured. The Congress and the Samajwadi Party are unlikely to come together this time round as they did in 2017, because they did realize the Samajwadi
saying
Party,
that they are on a stronger footing than any of their other parties in contention at present in this particular region of Western Uttar Pradesh?
At the moment, yes, they do believe so, because they do believe that the opposition is completely fractured. They do believe that the Samajwadi Party, while it has its very solid vote bank of the Yadavs and Muslims that it banks on, is still not in a position to, upstage the Bharatiya Janata Party. As far as the Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath's, his own individual standing goes, the Bharatiya Janata Party is extremely confident that Yogi Adityanath will see the party through. So despite, making changes in, for instance, in other states, as far as chief ministers are concerned, in Uttarakhand they made a change as well, which is an election-bound state as well, in the first half of 2022. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, despite some feedback from the ground, media reporting, and otherwise about the UP government not so, up to the mark handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, the government has, and the Prime Minister himself has solidly stood behind Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, because they do
also, but Pallavi, when the UP Rural Council polls took place, BJP did not have a clean sweep at that point of time. Does that really matter ahead of the assembly elections right now? All right, hold on right there. I'm coming back to you. Listen into Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
शिक्षा को लेकर हम जानते हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री कितने संवेदनशील है। 3 दशकों बाद देश में नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति आई है और खास
जी सुधाकर
Mr. Modi right there, he's about to start addressing the crowds right there. In just a few moments from now, he will be addressing the crowd. You can see the scores of supporters present right there for the Prime Minister. In fact, listen into this event that is going on right now.
विश्वविद्यालय के शिलान्यास समारोह में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का हृदय से स्वागत, अभिनंदन। अलीगढ़ के निवासियों की ओर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को हम सबके प्रणाम समर्पित हैं। आज अलीगढ़ के लिए ये ऐतिहासिक दिन है। देश के अमृत महोत्सव के इस काल में जब समय है उन क्रांतिवीरों के नमन का जिन्हें इतिहास ने वो स्थान नहीं दिया जो उन्हें मिलना चाहिए था, और उन्हीं क्रांतिवीरों में से एक थे राजा महेंद्र प्रताप सिंह, जिनकी पुण्य स्मृति में राजा महेंद्र प्रताप सिंह राज्य विश्वविद्यालय के निर्माण का शिलान्यास समारोह आज यहाँ आयोजित हो रहा है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के चरणों में प्रणाम समर्पित करते हुए हम उनका स्वागत करते हैं। अपनी तालियों के प्रणाम आप मंच तक पहुँचाएं। सबसे पहले मैं माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी से अनुरोध करूंगी कि हम सब की ओर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को अंग वस्त्र भेंट कर उनका स्वागत करें, और आप सब अपनी तालियों के पुष्पों से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत करेंगे, अभिनंदन करेंगे। साथ ही मैं माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी से अनुरोध करूंगी कि वो हम सब की ओर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को स्मृति चिन्ह प्रदान करें। राधे राधे, भारत माता की जय। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय आपका। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का हृदय से स्वागत, अभिनंदन। माननीय राज्यपाल महोदया, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय और मंचासीन समस्त अतिथियों का हम स्वागत करते हैं। आज के इस ऐतिहासिक और भव्य समारोह में युवाओं को शिक्षा, देश की रक्षा और इसी के साथ साथ विकास और समृद्धि, इसी का प्रतिफल है आज का ये आयोजन। शिक्षा में गुणवत्ता के सुधार के लिए अभूतपूर्व परिवर्तन करने वाले माननीय उप मुख्यमंत्री माननीय डॉक्टर दिनेश शर्मा जी मंच पर आसीन हैं। मैं उनसे अनुरोध करूंगी कि हम सब की ओर से अतिथियों का स्वागत करें।
All right, if we have Paulami with us, we'll go straight across to Paulami to get a perspective on this. Paulami still continues to be with us. Paulami, coming back to my earlier point on the UP Rural Council polls, BJP did not have a sweep in that area. Does that really matter ahead of the assembly polls?
Well, as far as the BJP's performance is concerned, the party is confident that it is going to win the UP state elections. They do believe that the opposition, while of course might seem to think that they're going to gain out of aspects like the farmers' agitation, the ongoing farmers' agitation, where the farmers are now, of course, resisting the Bharatiya Janata Party's, coming back to power. They do believe that while it could definitely hurt the Bharatiya Janata Party if the Jat community as a whole, being supported by, of course, Muslims in that belt and otherwise as well, supporting the community could really hurt the BJP's numbers in the Western UP belt. They do believe they're still on a stronger footing going into these elections, but it could be hugely embarrassing for the Bharatiya Janata Party if at all these communities, specifically, of course, I'm speaking about the Jat community, were to come together in order to, of course, defeat the Bharatiya Janata Party in strongholds where they, of course, reign supreme. So that is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to do right now, which is to pacify the Jat community, because they do believe that that is a community that could hurt them in the upcoming elections, and that is a community which is, of course, being tapped into by other parties, like, for instance, the RLD, which is, of course, Ajit Singh's party, the late Ajit Singh's party, led by his son now, Jain Chaudhary, which is, in a coalition with the Samajwadi Party. They do believe that they definitely can hurt the Bharatiya Janata Party. Like I said, the Bharatiya Janata Party has had the support of the Jat community in previous elections, be it in 2014, be it in 2017, the state elections, and then, of course, again in 2019 during the general elections as well. But this time around, the BJP is not confident. So the BJP, of course, is saying, in a way, indirectly, through this, foundation laying of a university in honor of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh, a Jat king, is basically saying that we are, of course, honoring his memory. His memory was not honored previously. He leased land.
While you have given us a perspective as far as Western UP is concerned and the BJP's outreach is concerned, the pacification of Jat vote bank is concerned, and this is, of course, the Prime Minister right there doing just that. Across the length and breadth of Uttar Pradesh, ahead of the poll, do you foresee any kind of edge that the BJP would end up losing? Because there was a fair amount of criticism over this government's mismanagement during the COVID pandemic.
And that is something that the BJP is obviously constantly working on countering. The BJP, of course, is going to the people and telling them that, the situation was exaggerated. It was the opposition which basically spread a lot of misinformation, and they have got a grip over the situation, and they have done their best in order to manage the pandemic, which was something which was overwhelming every state government in the country, which was completely unprepared and completely taken off guard when, of course, the pandemic spread across the world. The BJP, of course, does realize, it does realize that as far as various states go and their performance go, this is something which is going to be very critical to the way the voter thinks, to the way the voter votes. Specifically, for instance, in the state of Gujarat, the most recent example, one of the reasons, in fact, which is being cited by sources within the Bharatiya Janata Party circles for, of course, the ouster of former Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. That,
yes.
What was being reported in terms of the numbers that were going out, one, the government was trying to, of course, cover that up, and then, of course, completely at sea in terms of handling the pandemic.